Cameron had been working long hours, doing everything to provide for his wife, Dana. He didn't know that the woman he had trusted for years was quietly preparing to tear apart the life they had built together. He wasn't prepared for what happened when Blake slid the credit card statement across the table, the one with a hotel charge from a place in Minneapolis dated 3 months ago. "I was in Seattle that week," Cameron muttered, feeling his world start to crumble. Blake's expression was grim. "It gets worse. The name on the reservation is Harold Jensen." Harold? Their neighbor. The same one who had sent him the strange text about a man being at his house. Now, everything was falling into place. Dana had been hiding a secret, and it wasn't just a one-time mistake. No, this had been going on for a while. "They planned this, Cameron," Blake continued. "Dana and Harold were working together, draining your accounts while you were recovering from your heart attack. It's not just betrayal, it's calculated." Cameron's fists clenched. Anger, hurt, and confusion swirled within him. "What do we do now?" Blake's face shifted to determination. "We fight back." Living at Jeff's place while recovering was supposed to be a time of rest. Instead, it had become a mission. Blake worked tirelessly to gather evidence, but the clock was ticking. Dana and Harold were getting bolder by the day. It was Blake who first connected the dots. Megan, Cameron's niece, worked at the local credit union and began noticing strange patterns with the accounts. "Someone's been draining your savings," she reported one evening, "and there's an unauthorized user." Cameron's gut twisted. "Harold," Megan confirmed it. "And they've been moving money to other accounts. Small amounts, but enough to make it hard to trace. They're planning to disappear," Cameron realized, fear creeping in. Blake's voice on the phone was low but urgent. "We need to move faster," Cameron agreed. "Let's do this." Blake's plan was simple. Document everything, build a paper trail that couldn't be ignored. Cameron spent his days taking photos of the house, every small change, every improvement he hadn't authorized. Harold had helped build a new shed, and Dana had installed landscaping that seemed designed to increase the property's value. All of it paid for with money Cameron had worked for. "We've got them," Blake said over the phone. "We've got enough evidence to prove they were planning to run." The walls were closing in. Cameron wasn't about to let them get away with it. But he needed more. The next morning, he contacted his company's HR department. He learned that he was entitled to 60% of his salary for up to 12 months due to his medical condition. Another win for him, and one Dana didn't see coming. The day Blake filed for an emergency injunction, Cameron's stomach churned. Harold had listed his house for sale, and it was clear Harold was cutting and running. The walls were closing in, and Dana was about to face the consequences. "Harold's selling his house," Jeff said when Cameron told him. "They're both planning to leave." Cameron nodded. "We need to act now." Blake filed the injunction. It was a calculated move, but it wasn't enough yet. The next day, Cameron received a text from Dana. "We need to talk. Just you and me. No lawyers," Blake told him not to respond. "We can't let them see our hand." The courthouse parking lot was tense. Cameron spotted Dana and Harold arguing, their faces flushed with anxiety. He took out his phone, capturing the moment. He knew this video would change everything. Inside, Blake was ready. The video played on the judge's computer, showing Dana and Harold in a compromising situation. It was undeniable. "Ms. Wells," the judge began, "do you care to explain why your client has been declaring under oath that she has no relationship with Mr. Jensen, when video evidence clearly shows otherwise?" The tension in the room thickened. Cameron stood tall, his heart pounding. It wasn't just a court battle anymore, it was about redemption. The judge was already in a bad mood. The nature of their relationship is directly tied to the financial fraud being alleged, he said, turning to Dana. "Mrs. Doyle, do you plan to leave the state with Mr. Jensen?" Dana's face turned white. The words hung in the air, suffocating her. I don't," Dana stammered. "Let me rephrase," the judge continued. "You've been moving substantial sums of money, and now we find that Mr. Jensen is selling his property. This court has evidence of a pattern of deception. You've withdrawn funds while your husband was incapacitated. Are you planning to leave the county? Cameron's stomach turned, but the anger had transformed into something else: control. The judge issued an injunction immediately, freezing all of Dana and Harold's assets. Like and share if you're ready for Dana and Harold's downfall. The days that followed were a blur. Cameron's divorce from Dana was finalized quickly. She didn't fight it. There was no reason to, not after the court's ruling. The house, his truck, and 80% of their savings were awarded to him. Dana got her car and the remaining 20%. But Cameron wasn't satisfied. This wasn't just about money, it was about justice. In the end, Dana had no choice but to disappear. She moved to Minneapolis, starting fresh with nothing but the consequences of her choices. Cameron moved back into his house, but it was no longer just a house. It was his sanctuary. He had fought for it, and now it was his. He sold it 6 months later, though. Too many memories tied to a past he wanted to forget. A smaller home closer to Jeff and Megan became his new beginning. He worked from home now, dispatching instead of driving long haul. The stress of the open road was too much for his heart, but the quiet, the stability, it was something he never thought he'd have again. One day, while cleaning out old boxes, Cameron found their wedding album. He thought about throwing it away, but instead he simply put it back in the box. It wasn't the end of his story. It was just a chapter, a painful, messy chapter. But he was still here, stronger and wiser for having gone through it. You can't control what others do, he reflected, only how you respond. The betrayal nearly broke him, but it didn't. It changed him.